PRECEPT is an EU-funded project that uses cutting-edge technologies in order to transform conventional residential buildings into highly efficient and proactive ones. Together with Konstantinos Arvanitis, the project's coordinator, and Yuliya Degtyariova, representative of the project's Ukrainian partners, we are going to discuss how this transformation can take place in modern cities, or even more, how to use the project's tech to heal war-stricken buildings. I would like to welcome you both, and Konstantinos, would you please describe in a few words the PRECEPT project?
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. PRECEPT project becomes today more than ever a very hot topic because it's talking as our motto for smarter buildings with energy efficiency. So we say less energy, smarter buildings. This is our project motto. So according to the European Union member states, there is a push, let's say, proposal for all our citizens to cut down their electricity or gas spend, the way that they are spending. And that is all PRECEPT is about. It's about installing some technologies with almost zero financial cost in order to be efficient, either as an attitude and, of course, as a person looking at the analytics. I have to state, in order for our audience to be aware of what we are doing, in simple words, Kelvin, 200 years before, told that you cannot improve what you cannot measure. So we are measuring things, we are giving people to know how do they spend the energy and change their temperature, their attitude towards being comfortable and, of course, being efficient as well.
Which needs of the European energy sector would you say that it is covering, and how?
For sure, the call is about residential buildings at first. So if we think that all from the full European building stock, the 75% of it is built for residential, for our homes, and the residential buildings are consuming about the 25% of the total energy spent done in Europe, including transportation. We are covering we can cover all the residential buildings over Europe, while only about 8% of these buildings are smart or energy efficient. The target of European Union for 2023 is to be about 18%, but this number is at a low percentage right now. So the fields that we are covering, it's the green energy transition, the effectiveness, and of course nowadays the non-inflated energy bills.
Can we also please touch upon a little bit on who is involved in the project, as well as who is the target audience?
Yes, I will tell you. I will tell you regarding this project. We are 14 partners across Europe, including the Ukraine. We have 2 partners from Ukraine, and we are happy about this. Our European dimension is we are 10 partners from 10 countries. We are 9 commercial partners, including 2 utility companies, Vattenfall from Greece and My Energia Spain, so we have the know-how. We have 5 research institutes, big ones, and 1 standardization body taking care of all the standardization procedures before and after the project. If you want, I can name the partners, but you have specific partners to the building digital twins, to the pilot activities, to the post-project commercialization, to the dissemination, to the communication, and a lot of work has been done, clever work regarding the PRECEPT applications and social collaboration platforms, all of the smart things we do from the academic institutes.
And for the target group that I asked is...
The target group is mainly each and every residential customer that can have and can try for free our application, and then start improving his energy spent, either or without installing some equipment.
Okay, it is hard to talk about smart buildings and not talk a little bit about smart cities. So, Yuliya, I would like to ask you, how do you envision the smart buildings and smart cities of the future?
Yeah, and not being so an expert in this in this field, but as an ordinary user, I would describe it. So a smart building, first of all, is a building, ideal building that covers all the needs of its occupants at all levels. And according to Maslow triangle, it is the building that covers the needs at all 5 levels, including the basic ones, psychological, physiological, and so financial security, and up to higher levels, including self-esteem and self-actualization. And when my basic needs are covered, such as appropriate, comfortable temperature and low level of CO2, and financial security, because the energy bills are not that high. And then I feel aware that I can contribute to the development of my community, and being greener and being a part of the energy efficient group. And contributing to the to future generations, and that is my vision of well-being in a house. And when it comes to an ideal city, it is a city again, and that provides inclusion and equal for ability for everybody to feel comfortable in the city, whether they are elderly, young people, or people with disabilities. The city that doesn't prevent us from feeling free, but at the same time, the city that is sustainable, so that doesn't damage the environment.
Yuliya, I would really love to live in your vision of the city of the future. Konstantinos, do you have something to add?
Okay, yes. Thank you, Yuliya, for saying this. In addition to Yuliya's examples, I would say that each city has the elements structuring a city are households, buildings, and citizens. Of course, a smart city means smart transport infrastructures, smart let's say sensors for the environmental conditions and the total energy spent. So I think the smart city of the future to be a simple city where citizens can be aware of how they can commune from their, let's say, their house to their job and go back with a less CO2 fingerprint. And of course, being smart means gaining some comfort, earning some time, or having the time to recycle, or to be a citizen, well educated and environmental friendly.
Absolutely. But I would like to go now a little bit back to the project itself. Now, it aims at transforming the conventional buildings to smart buildings with almost zero operational costs. Having Yuliya with us, I can't help but wonder if that will be the case even for Ukrainian buildings after the war, or even during.
And I would like to start with the situation and reality in Ukraine now. And Ukraine's housing and is composed primarily of the energy inefficient buildings, and which were constructed in the Soviet period, and when we didn't have standards or problems with such as we're facing now, and with the power supply, and with the need to save energy. And in fact, so buildings in Ukraine are responsible for 40% of total energy consumption. And 54% of that consumption comes to heating and cooling. With the war going on in Ukraine, according to the Ministry of Territories and Development of Ukraine, and more than 75% of buildings, including residential ones, have been destroyed and require either total reconstruction or the refitting. And I think it is the time even now, without waiting for the end of the war, to start renovating those and residential buildings and as well as and public buildings in compliance with energy efficiency standards, and which have been approved and accepted in the European Union, and our government started acting even before the war, and we adopted a number of energy efficiency standards, and in Ukraine, and.
I'm wondering, I can't even imagine how the situation is in Ukraine. I haven't experienced the war, and I hope I never will. But how can we discuss well-being of smart buildings? How can you be ready to start rebuilding while your adult population is fighting?
And in fact, people now are very interested in making their buildings smarter and more energy efficient, and it is not because, not only because of the price of household bills and the cost of energy, but because of everybody's responsibility at the moment, that we are all the part of our national community, and we are all responsible for not only for the situation at the moment, but for the renovation of and revival of the country at all levels, starting from individuals, from households, families, and at the governmental level. And everybody should contribute. And that is why people are very interested in making their houses more energy efficient in order to economize, because if we do not economize now, we will be without any electricity just not a few days later, but a few hours later. We have already experienced a number of rolling blackouts, and even now, just before our interview, I contacted my daughter, and who is staying in Dnipro in Ukraine, and who complained that they have been without electricity for more than 15 hours now, because there was overuse of power in the region. And of course, everybody is recommended to save and be more efficient in terms of energy.
Collective, everybody in the country is helping any way they can.
Yes, anyway, and everybody tries to contribute and do their bit, and in order to help our men and help everybody. And in fact, the situation and taught us and to be more and to be more or less wasteful, I would say, more economical, and it united us as never before.
That sounds brilliant. It united you in Ukraine. I dare say it united us in Europe also by your side, which is always a beautiful thing. I would like to ask one last question, which is about the pilot of one of the pilots of the project that is in Ukraine. So how has the war affected this endeavor, the pilot, Yuliya?
And in fact, we were quite active before the war, but when it started in February, we decided to put it on a pause or on a hold, and for a while, because we had no idea what way the situation will be developing. But when we saw that we can continue, it was in June or July, we immediately informed our partners in the European Union and project partners that we are ready and eager to continue. And because it is a project that has come just and relevant, so it was really important, and it is even more important now.
Yeah.
And and people and the participants, the tenants, and who participate in the project, and where these systems are being installed at the moment in Ukraine, and even now they feel the difference. So that they can control the consumption, and this way they can reduce the use of energy in their households, and without feeling uncomfortable.
Konstantinos, a last comment from you?
Yes, we are delighted that our partners are back, because we lose every communication you can realize during the project. And we were, as a project, me personally and all the project consortium, we were totally supportive and really anxious about what's happening. And we were delighted that our partners came back willing to do things. They never talked about difficulties, but they was talking about the challenge. So I'm really happy to have Yuliya and Marina, the other partner, with us. You know, it is the first time we're meeting in person with this, with our partners. And I want to express my and the total consortium sympathy for all Ukrainian, not only our partners and their families. Thank you very much.
Yuliya, Konstantinos, thank you very much for this very interesting conversation. And let me say that on behalf of Enlit Europe and Smart Energy International, we're proud to have your Ukrainian partners with us, and we're wishing all the best to the brave people of Ukraine.
Thank you very much. And on my side, I would like to express appreciation to our European partners in the project, and to all the European Union for the support and your contribution, and to our survival and our innovation in Ukraine, in fact. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us.